Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome modern house. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button as it really helps me and the channel out very much. And if you make it all the way to the end, I have a special surprise for you. I will show you what it looks like when you decorate the inside of the house. If you make it all the way to the end, I'll actually show you how the interior can look. So stay all the way to the end if you want to see that. But without any further ado, let's get started. Before we get things started, here is a list of materials that you are going to be needing, so please make sure that you have access to all of those and enough of them as well. This is the amount of room required to make the build. I'd always recommend making the grid, however, it isn't necessary. Pause if you have to, gather your materials, make sure you've got enough room, and then once all of those things are sorted out, we can begin. So firstly, if you have made this grid, you want to make your way to the front right hand corner of the grid. This is where the build begins. Start off by placing a row of 3 grey concrete on top of this block. 1, 2, 3. I then want you to go left by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want you to connect down to the ground and also back on yourself as well to create a rectangle. We are going to take the 9th block and the block that hit the ground and we'll extend them inwards, each by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. I want you to place white concretes on the ends of those second blocks and join the white concrete together. I then want you to come all the way over to where we first started. Take the very first block that we ever placed and extend it backwards by 18 using grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We are then going to take that 18th block right there and extend it across by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On top of the 9th block, I want you to stack 2 more. 1, 2. Extend that second block inwards by 2. 1, 2. Do the same with the block that hit the ground. And then place white concrete on the ends of those blocks and join them together, like this. I then want you to place grey concrete coming from this second block that we place coming upwards, and I want you to place a row of grey concrete that is parallel to the row that is on the ground. So all that means is I want you to follow the same path that the grey concrete did on the ground, except just a couple of rows higher. And the thing that we will also want to do once you have completed that is join it together in the back corner of the build. We then want to place a layer of light blue glass inside of the top of what we have made. Beginning from this corner here, I want you to place a row of light blue glass block that comes across the back of the house, all the way to the front, and sits nicely inside moving over to the left. The following shape should look like this. I then want you to place a layer of grey concrete that sits inside of the glass. This will very clearly define where you have separate parts of the house. It will just mark out the grey part of the house from the white part of the house that we're about to make. You see, we now want to take out the white concrete and we want to place white concrete coming upwards from each individual white concrete at the front and back of the house. You can then join them together front to back, and I want you to extend the end concretes that we just extended upwards by 1 and join together. I then want you to place a layer of white concrete that sits inside of the grey concrete shape. You see, this really does give shape to the build, and it shows you the defining parts of the house, like this. I now want you to place a layer of oak wood slabs that sits above and inside of the empty space created using the white concrete. So we began with a white concrete rectangle, and we now want to have an oak slab that will create a bit of depth, and we also want to fill it in. I want you to use oak trapdoors to fill it in. Simply place oak trapdoors all the way around the inside of the oak wood slabs, going all the way around like this. The only problem with this is it leaves the middle part exposed, so simply crouch and place some additional oak trapdoors like this that fill in the middle. Now, once you have done all of that, we can now place light blue glass pane in the sides of our grey concrete creation that go all the way around. These are specifically glass panes, whereas beforehand we were using some glass block, like this. Now, that's half of the build complete. There's more. I want you to grab the white concrete and come to the front of the build. I want you to take specifically the upper white concrete here, the one right here, the one at the top, and I want you to extend it to the left by 9 using your white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Extend backwards by 2, 1, 2. Place a grey concrete behind that, connect it down to the ground, and also extend upwards by 1 to give you this shape. Now, once you have this shape, I want you to place 2 layers of light blue glass directly underneath the white concrete area. This is coming down towards the ground. I then want you to place a layer of white concrete that connects the glass down to the ground. And now we have to make an entrance. The entrance begins in front of the front bottom left hand corner here. You place an oak plank, one on top, sideways oak stair on top of that. You then want to place an upside down oak stair right, an upside down oak stair that matches it on the opposite side, sideways stair coming out of the right, oak wood planks coming down to the ground. Simply place oak wood slabs on top of the 2 middle blocks to round the entrance and destroy the 2 sets of 2 blocks that will prevent you from getting inside. The doorway is built to be right here, and so has a little bit of glass just above the doors. It looks quite nice like that. Now, I want you to return to the grey concrete area. This area is important. I want you to take the bottom of the grey concrete and I want you to look down and towards the left. Place 3 rows of grey concrete left. 1, 2, 3. Place 2 back left grey concretes. That'll 1, that'll be 2. Move back by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 back right grey concretes. 1, 2. Go right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 front right. 1, 2 grey concretes. And then extend towards you by 1, 2, 3, 4, as you might have guessed. And then place 2 front left grey concretes. The end result of which should be this. That's perfect. Now, place grey concrete on top of all of these until the cylinder that you have created, or the circle, however you want to look at it. I suppose it's more of a cylinder by the time you have finished at making it all 3D. Whatever you want to call it, really doesn't matter. You want to make it as high as the rest of the grey concrete. So all the way up to the top, just like this. And then we can work on the next little bit of the house. Like that. Perfect. Next, we want to do something that is quite tricky in that we want to place glass block above and inside the shape that we have at the top of our cylinder. So that equates to 4 rows of 5 straight, diagonally connected blue glass block. Then we want to place a row of grey concrete above and somewhat outside the layer of blue glass that we have at the top. So we want to have a row of grey concrete that is parallel to the row of grey concrete that we have just below us, and the end result of it wants to look like this. Now, whether or not you want to join it together in the middle is completely up to you. It doesn't really matter too much, honestly, unless you're doing a lot of like skydiving, otherwise you're not going to really see it. But that does look quite nice all joined together, and then all you would have to do is simply fill in the middle of this using some light blue glass block, and that does look quite good. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a telescope or something, you know, like if you look at it from the end so you can just see the circle. That's what it reminds me of. Not that anybody asked, but hey. So that's what we want to have so far. To cut out this build, I want you to come all the way to the very back of the build. And I want you to take the white concrete block that we have at the back here, and I want you to extend it to the right. It will join head on with the cylinder that we just created. Extend the block that joins upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3, and then connect left. Easy as that. Fill the middle of this in using light blue glass block or glass pane, and I have noticed that I actually missed out this little bit at the back as well of glass pane, so it's a good job that we came back here. Next, I want you to place a layer of oak wood slabs around the cylinder just above where the white concrete connects. So like here, I want you to place an oak wood slab, and I want you to place a layer of oak wood slab that kind of just comes around the side of the cylinder like this. It's going to create a really cool depth effect, and it will just join in the same place as it is on the back. So just like that, really. And then all we're going to do, it's up to you whether you want to use some white concrete for this or some glass, but I'm just going to fill the top of this in using glass just to let in some light. If you want to be walking around on top here and you want to be placing everything and you want to place stuff on the roof, I'd recommend some white concrete. But I really didn't design this house with the idea that you'll be walking around on the roof, so it is completely up to you what you want to do with it, however. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. So this is what the house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed, and hopefully this is what you should be looking at. Also, I did promise you that I would show you the inside of the original done version, so let's do exactly that. So as we enter the inside of the house, you will see that the first room that we have is a hallway that has a few flowers, we have a few armor stands, we even have a bit of a storage area as well. The house is divided up into 3 sections, the first of which being this hallway, and then inside the tube of the left of the house, I've turned it into a giant storage area / enchantment library, because I love libraries in houses. They just feel so grand, and I don't know, there's something about them that I just really like. And as we move through to the opposite side of the house, you can see it's quite spacious really for a nice easy house like this. And this opposite side of the house, we have a large crafting area that has all of the things that we might need. You can see that we have nice little separate chest areas separate from the crafting area, so nothing gets too cluttered. We have more armor, and we even have a little bed as well. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very much. If you've made it all the way to the end, please remember to share the video with a friend. Sharing is caring. It's the best way to get this video seen, and it really helps out the channel. It honestly does. If you want to check out any more modern builds by me, I have so many of them that are much larger than this, and I even have some that are smaller, more complex. Check out the card system in the description below for all of your building needs. And that is pretty much everything, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you very much. Goodbye.